And we're here with Page Vega.
Hey!
You don't get to see his face. He's too ugly.
I'm like one of those Dr. Seuss books that like a 3-year-old has, you know? Not one that's put up for reading. It's the one a 3-year-old has under his bed.
The one that's all crusty and old.
Yeah, and it's got like peas stuck to the front that are all mashed up. Yeah.
Sounds yummy. This video
It was.
this video is called How Jackass Changed Everything by Big Tugg.
Hello, children. Welcome to the fantabulous world of Extra Tugg, full of educational and children-friendly content. That's definitely what this is, so come on in. It's only $4 a month, and it's a lot of fun perks. Chris, why would you put that on the screen? You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody. It's hard to explain to somebody who wasn't raised in the early 2000s that how important Jackass was to the culture. I remember when this came out, I thought to myself, man, like, we are forever past the moment of, like, being afraid to do things on TV or being afraid to be, like, not Christian. I don't know how to explain.
There was a time and a place for subtlety, and that was before Jackass.
Like, I look back at, like, the 1950s where they were sock hopping, like, those images of them at dances, and I thought, that's over. That's never gonna happen. And then I didn't realize the cyclical nature of humanity and how we're...
That's gross, man. You're dating a sock, man.
I think most men have.
We're going back to that, but it's important. Jackass is an important moment in history. By combining the DIY spirit of skating culture with the Y2K's thirst for extreme content, Jackass became an unlikely cultural phenomenon. Its blend of daredevil stunts and sophomore pranks had absolutely no business airing on TV, let alone becoming an era-defining franchise. But here's the thing about America.
I knew you were
We're
going to say
nasty.
that.
We like being gross a little bit. We like it raw. We've liked it raw since 1994 when Toy Story came out. I might have gotten that year wrong. Jackass delivered that rawness with a heavy dose of danger, charisma, and morbid curiosity. Just listen to these batshit insane episode descriptions pulled from a family-friendly streaming service, Paramount Plus. Season 4, Episode 5. The Kais face off in the horse manure joust. Johnny wets the bed while mattress shopping, and Steve-O goes snorkeling with bloodthirsty sharks and becomes a human urinal. You can just watch this. You can just turn on the TV and watch whatever the hell I'm talking about. From prank stunts on film to actual death threats in real life, Jackass was obviously too insane to last. But despite that, we're still talking about it. People still remember it to this day, and I thought it was worth breaking down the entire history of how this came to be, how this psychotic tumor on American culture came to materialize.
You tried it once? I heard that, dude. I heard you whisper that shit. What the hell? How was it?
The Golden Turn,
Yeah.
warm, and then cold.
Metastasize. But before we start, I want it to be said, don't try any of this shit at home. There's a reason why they put the skull and crossbones in front of it, and even as a kid, I realized this was not good because I wanted to try every single one of the stunts on the TV. There's a reason people protested these movies. Regardless, by the late 90s, skate magazines and videos had created their own ecosystem. Now, I want to preface, I'm not a skater. I had little skate punk friends. I never learned how to do it because it was hard and I'm lazy, but I'm a big fan of skate culture. I believe the term for that is poser. I'm a pretty big poser, but I love the vibe.
We could tell you're a poser, Tugg, by the mustache and the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio haircut.
Kids in the 90s, the only exposure...
Yeah, look, they're all posing right there, posers.
You would have to skateboarding was the skate tapes. Watching a skate tape at someone else's house was like a precursor to watching a fucked up video on the internet on your family computer with all your friends. Like watching some beheading videos, that was skate tapes in the 90s. For a lot of kids, the videos weren't about skating at all. It was more about the vibes of the tapes, which always had a cool soundtrack, skits, and a punkish anti-authoritarian feel. Skating and hating the cops go hand in hand because cops don't want you to skate on the streets. And what, you, I'm gonna skate. And that was just the vibe of it. And because of this attitude, skate magazines also used the same vibe in their print. Photography was also incredible.
Skate 3 was better than Skate 2.
Skate what?
Skate 3 was the best skateboarding game of all time.
Game?
Yeah.
I have never heard of it. I only skate 3.
You fucking piece of shit.
It had to be in order to capture the dynamic, fast-paced action of skateboarding. In between the photo essays of skate trips and mind-blowing tricks, there would also be articles about culture that shared the same edgy, irreverent attitude. But even in the world of skate magazines, the magazine Big Brother was an anomaly. Do you guys know about Big Brother magazine? I've been trying to buy Big Brother authentic vintage merch, and you just can't buy it because they must have burned all of this shit. Big Brother magazine was known for its...
Big Brother, these are the people who stole the idea from Bam Margera and then kicked him out for Jackass 4 because he was being a psycho. Even though they paid him to be a psycho.
Yeah,
I mean, Bam Margera...
literally his job.
Yeah, his job was literally to be a drunk asshole and to go out and do dumb shit.
And mess with his parents.
Yeah, and then Jackass 4 was coming out and they said, hey, you've got 1 week to get sober. And if you mess up at all, you're going to lose $5 million and not be in the movie.
Yeah, and they started, like, holding him in, like, against his will and making him sound crazy all the time. And they're like, oh, you're too much of what we told you to be.
Yeah, and then now they replaced him with some guy named Poopy. Poopy, yeah. That's the guy's literal name. The guy replaced Bam. Poopy.
Like
poop, like a butt.
Oh.
Yeah, his name's
Poop
Poopy.
like a butt.
Yeah, his name's Poopy. They replaced Bam Margera with Poopy. And fucking...
They would.
And then they asked him to be in the next movie, and he said, fuck no. And they were like, well, we're still going to use your footage from the other movies.
Wow.
And splice it in.
That's horrendous. Well, I wanted to talk about... I've never heard of Big Brother magazine, but I have had a subscription to Smelly Uncle magazine.
Oh, yes. Me too, actually. Big Bob and Bertha Mathers were the two of the best centerfolds.
Yeah, Bertha Mathers.
Yeah.
She goes way back.
Yeah,
way
back.
back to the center. It's not really the back, it's the center.
Well, and she was the only female to ever be in Smelly Uncle.
Yeah. And Smelly Uncle is just...
It was a real...
generational.
It was a watershed moment.
It was top of the charts. Top of the pops.
Yeah, you're not
wrong. It wasn't even music.
It wasn't, dude, and it still topped it.
Yeah, it's still not music.
It stayed up there. It's still there today.
Yeah, it hangs around.
Yeah,
just like a Smelly Uncle.
Just like a Smelly Uncle. It never quite leaves.
Boundary pushing content. One of their earliest articles gave step-by-step instructions on how to string up a rope and end it. I'm trying to find a good way. Unalive yourself. Like it was a joke, and they thought it was really funny to be that edgy. Not that funny nowadays, but like funny. That was big humor in the 90s. Now let's jump cut to Johnny Knoxville, who was in LA at the same time as Big Brother magazine is kicking off. Johnny Knoxville was trying to be an actor, and it was not working out for him, and he literally needed money. So how are you going to do that? Well, he had a great idea to write an article about self-defense equipment, and he thought a great way to write this article would be to test every piece of self-defense equipment. And he did this by pepper spraying himself, tasing himself, and shooting himself in the chest while wearing a bulletproof vest.
Yes, Buttman.
Poop done.
Yes. Well.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Oh, rest in poop.
R.I.T.
Rest in toilet?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Are you guys gonna be hungry?
What?
Are you guys gonna be hungry?
Hungry?
Books don't eat.
Yeah, what are you talking about? But yeah, probably.
And who's going to publish that besides Big Brother? But according to Knoxville, everyone seemed to like the idea, but he couldn't get any of them to pay in advance for the equipment. So I understand why this was a hard sell, because he was like, I'm going to write this article for you, but first you have to pay for my pepper spray and bulletproof vest. And also you need to let me buy a 38 caliber pistol. And I'm going to shoot myself with that. So whenever you guys are ready, just send me the check. But of course,
he wanted to put on a bulletproof vest for this and get shot in the chest with a gun.
With a 38?
Yeah, and they were like, dog, you can't do that.
Why? Like, do a 22 maybe.
Yeah, no.
38.
This dude didn't fucking die. Johnny Knoxville would have died right there.
Yeah.
Like, Big Brother was like, willing to do it. And they wanted a video to go along with the article. When editor and now famous person Jeff Tremaine saw the footage, he had his big idea moment. He enlisted the help of his friends and also director Spike Jonze. That's where Spike Jonze came from, by the way. He was editing and directing skate tapes. He made Where the Wild Things Are. What the f? But he got all of his friends and Spike Jonze to make a demo reel to shop around a TV network. And a big component of the demo reel he shopped around was Bam Margera. You guys know Bam Margera? I would love to have him. I wanted to get him for an interview to do this. I tried. I actually tried. Didn't work out. I don't know how to contact him. But Margera had already appeared in Big Brother magazine as a professional.
Yeah. Bam Margera is ethereal. It's like Ogre Slosh.
Does that say dung?
Oh, more poop!
Foreshadowing.
That's in the industry. We call that foreshadowing.
professional skater, mostly because he started so young and it was very interesting. He was very risky as a child. That's Bam Margera. But he also had already made several videos that incorporated stunts and tricks with his CKY crew. CKY standing for Camp Blank Yourself. You can film. I can't say it on YouTube, but that was the name of his posse of bandits. Just like how Alexander Graham Bell and Alicia Gray filed patents for the telephone on the same day, Margera and Knoxville had both independently stumbled upon a $1 million idea. Essentially, making a skate video with absolutely zero skating in it. Both MTV and Comedy Central wanted rights to the show, and also SNL was interested in them like doing stunts between the skits on the show.
Why?
Because it's empty.
TV? Yeah, it's owned by Rob Dyrdek now.
Yeah, Rob Dyrdek has got him by the scrotum.
They've got him by the short and curlies, you know?
Yeah.
SNL almost had Jackass. Eventually,
they don't have any curlies, or they're probably so short they don't have any curlies.
They've pulled them all off.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he had a tight grip.
All off with his tight grip. He's got tight grippers.
We all know that.
And he grips so tight.
Yeah, that's why they call him the Deer Dick.
Oh.
Yeah. Because his dick's leathery.
Oh.
From his tight grip.
he won by offering more creative control, and in 2000, the first episode of Jackass aired. And nothing was ever the same, and a lot of people got hurt. It wasn't just an immediate success, Jackass was a cultural force. Just 4 months after Jackass debuted, Knoxville was on the cover of Rolling Stone. Could you imagine? Like, I genuinely, like, there's no TV show that's out right now where you will be on it for 4 months and then get the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. That's just not possible nowadays. Just looking at the names of the stunts that
the
were
Rolling Stone, you know, it's kind of just like bullshit anyway, honestly.
Yeah, it was on the cover of the Rolling Stone. I can't sing.
Rolling Stone.
Gonna get a picture on the cover.
Rolling Stone.
Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother.
Rolling Stone.
Something.
On the cover of the Rolling Stone.
of this show is a laundry list of insanity. I'm going to rattle these off for you, and you can go look them up in your spare time. Human barbecue, sexercise bike, butt stapler.
No, dude, it gets fucking.
Most of their songs.
You know what the second verse's lyrics are, right? Yeah, that's whatever, you know. But the second verse, you don't remember what the lyrics are?
I can't.
I got a lot of little teenage blue-eyed groupies who do anything I say. Wow. That's the fucking line. Yeah.
What's gross but not
toilet ride, bear wrestling, beard of leeches, prostitute, boat race, spermathon. I just don't know, like, I don't know what switch flip.
Well, you think about it, like, a lot of classic rock had that messaging, like, hidden inside of it. Yeah. That's why I think the whole, like, baby thing, or ooh, child,
little girl.
Yeah, that. Or just, like, even in the rock songs, when they'd be like, ooh, child, I love you and want to have sex with you. It's like, what are you, what? No, get out of here.
All it seems like to be a great rock star in the 70s, you had to diddle.
Yeah, you had to be a fucking creepy weirdo.
I mean, Jimmy Page and Robert Plant, Jimmy Page especially. Robert Plant was obviously, he's a golden god, but a golden god of diddling.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't know that, but I could have assumed.
Jimmy Page, have you ever heard about?
No.
With Lori Maddox.
No, let me hear
Lori
it.
Maddox claims that she lost her virginity to, I think it was David Bowie. I'm not 100%
Allegedly.
Sure. Allegedly, she claims that she lost her virginity to, I think it was David Bowie, bent over a table when she was, guess how old?
I feel like you're gonna say something younger than I want to hear.
12.
Jesus Christ, David Bowie.
I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't
I'm not
surprise
100%
me.
sure it was Dave, but that's what she says. And there's pictures of her with Jimmy Page dating back to when she was like 13 or 14.
Mm-hmm.
He used to keep her in hotel rooms, like in the town he was touring in, and her parents signed her away to him. And he would travel around, and he didn't want to be seen with her because
obviously, yeah.
And then he would go back to his hotel room, and she, of course, thinks it was, she doesn't regret. She doesn't think anything bad about these people. She thought it was great. Even to this day, I'm pretty sure. She realizes it's bad. It's, like, creepy. She wouldn't want her own kids, I imagine, if she has any. But, like, there's pictures of Jimmy Page, like, he looks surprised, and the cameras are going off, and then, like, a little fucking 14-year-old girl standing next to him, like, yay!
Oh, my God. Hell
Yeah.
no,
kiss a
dude.
black
They're all
girl on
monsters.
TV, and then
Yep.
you could have a
Real.
spermathon in the same 50-year span. Like,
Their music
I don't know how things switched that fast. Now, while Jackass was a
It takes a monster to make art, you know?
hit,
I think it does.
of course,
most
it
of the
wasn't
time.
without controversy. Copycat viewers,
I think
aka
it just
kids
takes a
who
weirdo.
wanted to do whatever
Yeah,
Johnny
true.
Knoxville did, were getting hurt at alarming
easier to
rates, and
control a weird
politicians
monster.
obviously started calling for the show to be banned.
There's
Even though
someone
MTV
like
had
fucking,
promised
what's his name? Wesley Willis? You're not controlling Wesley Willis at all.
Well,
You don't know Wesley Willis?
Uh-uh.
Oh, fuck me, dude. Hold up. Hold up. You're in for a treat, dude.
Is there like like that one time with a treat like that one time?
It's
where
worse.
it's like this isn't Mountain Dew.
No, no. Oh my god.
Yeah. The weird monster is harder to control, I think, because if they're weird enough, they don't care. You can't blackmail a weird monster that's out in the open,
Exactly.
just walking around.
Well, you can blackmail a weird monster, but you can't blackmail a fucking just weirdo.
Unhinged weirdo, yeah.
Yeah. All right, this is
Rock
Wesley
and roll
Willis.
McDonald's.
Clearly a Casio keyboard auto loop.
Yeah.
McDonald's is a place to rock. It
Where?
is a restaurant where they buy
Where'd you
food to eat.
find this?
It is a good place to listen to the music. People flock here to get down to the rock music. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll
You've never heard this
McDonald's. McDonald's will make you fat. They serve Big Macs. They serve quarter pounders. They will put pounds on you. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's.
Is he
Rock
like?
and
Yeah.
roll McDonald's.
Yeah.
Dead?
Rock
Yes.
and roll
Oh.
McDonald's.
What? Well, no. Does he have like a?
Oh, that too.
mental
He did, yeah.
disability?
Yeah, he also drew this picture. That was
Oh
it.
yeah, I can tell.
His art style.
I mean,
for,
the
like,
perspective is pretty good, actually. You know, he's got.
dude, I guarantee you that piece right there sold for over $10,000.
Damn.
This guy was big in the like underground weirdo scene.
Yeah, was he like a lolcow before lolcows?
Yeah, exactly. In like the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would go live and play this stuff in like small clubs.
You know, this is totally off topic, but I am convinced that Arnold Schwarzenegger has speech impediment
Yeah,
in his native language.
yeah.
Because I've talked to Austrian people. They don't sound like this. They don't talk like that.
McDonald's
They have
hamburgers
accents,
are
they
the
have
worst.
thick accents, but
They
they
are
don't
worse than
sound
Burger King.
anything like him.
A Big Mac
I think he
has
just got a
26
speech
grams of fat.
impediment.
I can see that.
Quarter pounder has 20
And they were like, "Damn, he sounds Austrian."
Yeah,
Rock
like,
and
that's a
roll
weird, that's a cool accent. I
McDonald's.
didn't know
Rock
how
and
to
roll
sound like that.
McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's.
Dude, this guy.
Rock on
Greatest song
London.
ever.
Rock on Chicago.
It
Whitney's.
is a
Represent
song for
champions.
sure. Have you ever heard Effervescent Elephant
Effervescent Elephant.
by Sid Barrett after he went
Oh
crazy?
yeah. So Sid Barrett, I went through and listened to all his Crazy Time music after, what was it? I was fucking. I listened to all of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and I was like, and then I started watching a YouTube video about like Sid Barrett went crazy after taking a bunch of acid, and I was like,
Yeah,
I gotta listen to his
he
fucking
was
music.
already crazy.
Yeah.
It was just the music industry chewed him up and spit him out
No.
beyond every doubt. Like
Creative control in the
like
beginning.
America.
Yeah.
He
Wait,
was
what?
butthead.
Yeah.
They'll chew you up and spit you out.
Would be
Beyond
beyond
any
a doubt. Yeah.
Beavis and
Beavis
Butthead.
and
Oh yeah.
And they
Oh
were
my
slowly
God.
giving
What a
more and
fucking-
more notes
what a
to the
movie.
crew,
You know where I
obviously.
got-
And after just 3 years on air, the
Originally, Paige Vega.
No.
Slade Vega. You don't remember? Slade Vega and Throbbing Rodney. That was gonna be our porn names.
Oh,
Porn star
okay.
names.
Shit, now I'm locked into Chester Monroe, dude. That's just such a good porn
Yeah,
name.
well, that's technically my porn name.
Not anymore,
It
it's
could
not.
be either of ours.
We'll just switch out.
Tech team.
You'll be my penis double.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
No, you'll walk out and I'll be the penis. That's how it works.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're always the penis.
Jackass crew said, you know what? I feel like we don't need you guys anymore, and they left TV to go to the big screen because you can eat poop on the big screen, I guess. It doesn't matter anymore. And I don't know if it was a
you
question
can.
whether or not the
I know
Jackass
that
movie was going to make
And
money.
everybody
but-
knows that Jackass loves poop. They love poopy.
Poop, dung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fans.
Ryan Dung.
Rested toilet.
With a budget of $5 million, they raked in $80 million worldwide. And now, over 5 movies
Oh my
in, the
God.
Jackass franchise has made over $500
said
million.
dumb
It
earlier.
also resulted in a pretty decent video game. And I mean like
Right.
everything after like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1
It makes sense because pooped on.
Poop done, yeah.
was pretty much a
Poop done,
Jackass
yeah,
video
yeah,
game.
yeah.
But while
Like
the
you're
jaw-dropping,
cooking it.
eye-catching
Yeah,
stunts of
no,
Jackass
I
brought
know.
into the audience, it was the personalities of the cast members that gave the show its staying power. Unlike other popular reality
that
TV
poop's
personalities
done.
of the era, like Joe Rogan on Fear
You ate the
Factor or
cat
Simon
poop,
Cowell
Robert.
of American Idol, Johnny Knoxville and his crew were not camera-ready, so to speak. They were
I
not
tried it once.
flashy. These were legitimately
Yeah,
just
not what it's
filthy
all cracked up to
skaters
be.
who happened to be in the right
Pushy.
place at the right time. Instead of asking that they polish and refine their act,
Yeah.
the show actually...
You like the cat poop?
It can be,
Well, how was it prepared?
it was just, they just laid it on me.
leaned into their dog shit appeal. And all that was asked of them
Hey,
is that
hey,
they
they
were
talk about
legitimately
shit
willing
again,
to
huh?
die every time they filmed. And I don't think that's too much
This
to
is the
ask.
poop
And they
video.
gladly did. And in the process created one of the most
You're
memorable
poop.
casts of Outcasts
I know.
ever assembled for TV. So let's just go, I want to go through, because people, like, you know, Bam Margera and Johnny
Yeah, I
Knoxville
know.
and Ryan
Yeah.
Dunn.
Nope.
Let's go through the actual cast and just break down where these
think
people
he said
came from
Ryan
and
Dunn.
how
Oh,
insane
he
their
did,
lives
huh?
were.
He
Of
loved
course,
it.
Johnny Knoxville was one of the
Joking.
few
It
cast
sounded-
members who
I'm
didn't have a
pretty sure he
background in
said Ryan Dunn.
skateboarding or snowboarding. Instead, like I said, he moved from LA from his native Kentucky to be an actor. He landed a few commercials and was even Keanu Reeves' stand-in in the film Bram Stoker's Dracula.
No
but he wasn't
way.
getting enough roles to pay the
No
bills,
way.
so
What?
he started writing articles.
Before.
But I will say,
Like,
he is a handsome
couple seconds
fellow.
ago.
There's you ever like you've seen him in his
You
early
son
movie
of a bitch.
roles? You're trying to think of like The Ringer. Like, I wanted to Johnny Knoxville. I wanted to be Johnny Knoxville at least.
Yeah,
While it
all right,
took
yeah,
an
The
entire
Ringer.
team to
Great movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jeffy
Jeffy,
Dahmer.
dude. Sure. Oh, fucking.
Yeah.
The dude who's all, you picked up my CD and squashed it.
You picked up in broad daylight and you squashed it.
You squashed it. No, that's such a
off
classic
Jackass.
scene.
Knoxville is the obvious leader. Not only was it his insane idea to shoot himself while wearing a bulletproof vest,
People with developmental.
Yeah,
disabilities,
exactly.
but They are the best part of that whole movie.
And supposedly Knoxville was good to them. I mean, who knows if that's true or not.
well,
You know, but
which kicked off the whole absurd
Yeah,
journey, but he
I
just had the
gotta
vibe
just
of an
rock and roll
elder
McDonald's.
statesman, a real herder of sheep.
forever,
And although
man.
he can be as surly and as depraved as the rest of the crew, he always
Oh
had
my
an
God.
air of like, I got this, guys. Like, I've never seen
That's
someone
why
get so
they're the
hurt
best
and be
people.
able to talk through the pain. And in
They
fact,
are
he might have
happy.
been the most depraved of them all because he's
Happy,
like kind of
friendly.
credited as coming
Except
up with
for
most of
Sierra.
the stunts.
unless, yeah, well, she was. I don't think she was actually. I don't think she had any developmental issues. I think she was just literally a demon.
yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah. We had a stepsister back in the day who claimed to be much more than she was. And she had our
Or
stepdad wiping
much
her
less.
ass and like all this kind of like all that shit. And then
Yeah.
one time her mom comes to pick her up and tells her stepdad that at her house she does math tests and does the dishes.
He was like, he was telling her, he's like, yeah, I had a little trouble with her. You know, I had to clean her up a little, and it can be hard picking up after her. And yeah, and her
Yeah.
mom was like, what are you talking about? She does all of that herself at the house.
Yep. She was taking advantage of her dad not knowing and not wanting to be.
But-
He didn't want to be called bigoted, basically, so he didn't say.
Well,
he,
he
didn't.
was also a monster.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked him.
Well, I mean, after he found that out,
He didn't handle
he
it the
didn't
best.
take it too well.
He didn't take it the best. No, but you know, we all react in our own way.
Yeah,
I only know how I would react. I don't know how I would react
not like
after
that.
years of that. But
Not like that.
Probably not like that. Probably not like that. But I'd be pretty pissed.
I'd be pissed
I'd be
too. I
pretty
might yell,
fucking
be like,
pissed.
what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Like, you better not. What the? I'm watching you.
I'm on you
Now
now.
and be like, I'm beating the shit out of you.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that. But, you know, who knows, dude?
Who knows?
Once on the show. I think
Oh,
maybe it was
God.
just the glasses. Maybe it was just the glasses that fooled me. Anyway, and while he might not have reached the same levels of notoriety as Steve-O or Bam Margera, he came the closest
Did
to
you hear
mainstream
about-
stardom. He sustained levels of success that allowed him to age gracefully. Even though in 2008 a motorcycle stunt broke his penis and tore his urethra, causing him to have to use a
did break
catheter
his
for 3
penis.
years.
Yeah, he
Also, there
fully
was a
broke
stunt
it.
that broke his orbital bone, and he sneezed and his eye fell out. But besides that, he's doing great. Let's talk about Bam Margera now. I wish I could have gotten him to just like say 3 lines. Bam,
You heard
if
about-
someone reaches out to you about me.
It was like years and years and years ago, back in like 2013. No, it was like the late 1800s or something. Guy-
Those are two very different things, man.
Guy, yeah, it was sometime between or before or after that.
Yeah.
And there was this guy. I'm pretty sure he got shot in the head or something. Or no. He was working on the railroad, and then a fucking tie or a pole thing went right through his skull.
Oh.
And he got it out. He either got it out or he lived with it, but he had a hole in his head for the rest of his life. He lived like a few decades after that. But when he died, it was something like he sneezed and a chunk of his brain came out the hole in his head.
Oh my
And
god.
he was just like, oh, look at that. And he had, well, the potato waffle, and I take it. Boop.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Me, like just I'll pay you $300 just to fucking say something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
when
I
you
just want to be
sneeze, it's like
involved. To begin,
2.9
Bam Margera
Gs.
was a fantastic skater.
Fuck.
While his
He
street
looks
style
good.
might not translate into the competitive technical world of skating, it was a unique and eye-catching style nonetheless. That, and he also had a willingness to skate anything. Like he'd skate a statue,
should've been
like
wearing
he'd
a
just
hat.
do shit. And there's a theme that you might be picking up on here is that anyone in Jackass was willing to do anything, anytime. And also, Bam Margera was pretty f***ing cool. Like he was a teenager
Margera
who was
was cool.
sponsored by a skate
Dude,
company. If you
although I will say, there was always like 1 out of every 15 kids you met back in the 2000s was that dude who watched too much Jackass and thought Bam Margera was too cool.
Like our cousin.
Our cousin, or especially the other kid who came from there and moved, and his sister was hot. Remember we went to that Christian concert with his sister, but not with him.
Oh, the skillet.
Yeah, we went to fucking Skillet. Yeah, but that kid, so he would like punch you in the arm as hard as he could, or something, hit you in the
joking.
stomach, and yeah, he thought it was funny. He'd like hit you in the gut, take you
Yeah.
down, and be like, "Oh, that's funny, dude." And I'm like,
Look at that. Oh,
Yeah.
Smack you in the nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that.
man, I don't know, dude. That's the only thing about Bam Margera that really like that fucked up so many kids, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Of just kids thinking it was funny to just be a fucking
They thought
asshole.
it was a prank to punch somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And then when they
knock you out and be like, "Oh, dude, this is
Look
what
at
I
that, his
did.
body went limp.
Fucking got you, dude."
What an idiot.
a high schooler back in the early 2000s, and he was sponsored by a skate company. You're not touching that. That's
Yeah,
next
you
level
got me,
class.
bro.
As one of the breakout stars
Yeah,
of
that was
Jackass, he got his own
cool.
spin-off, Viva La Bam, and became an unlikely celebrity in the 2000s.
Oh my
If you
God.
were around during that time, you would remember his
Look at my
influence.
legs,
In
those
particular, the
noodles
fact
now.
that
Yeah,
Bam
it's
almost
like they think that you're just gonna congratulate them on their amazing prank and
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, dude, you did a great job."
You know
Holy
who
shit.
you remind me of? Alfred Hitchcock. That was phenomenal.
Tell me you got that on camera. Oh, you didn't? That's fine, dude. That's
Yeah,
fine.
he does it every day. He's a literal genius.
You walk up to your friends with your buddy, like, "Hey, it's my buddy Ryan," and he just punches you in the mouth, and you look up and you're bleeding. Isn't he fucking hilarious, guys?
Oh my God, this guy.
They all start clapping.
Yeah, whistling and
Oh, Jesus.
single-handedly
I've
kicked
never
off the
seen
career of a
anything
Finnish
like
goth metal band, Him. Walk into any Hot Topic in the early
Please have my
2000s and you would
girlfriend.
see this band's logo on t-shirts everywhere.
have
I
my
originally thought it was
baby.
Bam
Please
Margera's
have me.
logo, but it was only because Bam was almost exclusively repping the brand shirt all the time. Aside from
That's
Mopey Mallrock,
the
he
guy
also
who
had a
punches
huge
people
influence in
saying
skate
that.
culture as well. And like I said, he appeared in 8 Tony Hawk video games. The Jackass
back
and Tony
my
Hawk
chair
video
was
game
person
collaboration was big. But unfortunately, things happen when you're crazy, and he went down a rabbit hole. Substance
happen
abuse,
all the
mental
time.
health,
Yeah.
domestic violence, it would all
What an
culminate
idiot.
on
Yeah, what a
Margera. And in
dumbass,
2022,
man.
after years of bad behavior, he was
We see
eventually
why he calls
fired from the
himself
movie
Big
Jack.
Tugg,
yeah,
because he's stupid.
because he's a big idiot.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
He thinks
say. Yeah.
things only happen when you're crazy.
Yeah, dude, what
Or
a
whatever he said.
fucking tugging me off with this one, dude.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
crazy.
He's tugging a rope straight to Dumbville.
Yeah, dude, right of it.
Jackass forever. But he lost his best friend, you know, Ryan
Fell
Dunn.
down
That
the
can f you up.
stupid
And like,
tree.
you know, he was a f***ing punk, so
Into
you
the
know, he
dumb
wasn't in the
river.
best
Yeah,
mindset.
and hit every leaf on the way
Yeah.
to Rome.
All the way to the jerk-off dam.
Yeah, dude, righty, lefty, who cares, man? It's a 5-finger shuffle.
Yeah, the stranger.
A 5-knuckle shuffle, I mean.
Sit on your hand
Make it numb. Put it
and
up
then
your ass.
slap someone with it. Legally, that's not assault.
It's not you.
That's
You-
not
you
assault.
didn't
That's
feel
a
it.
stranger. You don't know him. Can't press charges.
I didn't have a control of
Idiot.
that hand.
That's the genius of it.
So I believe in you, Bam. Get it together. Speaking of getting it together, Steve-O. Remember him? Remember where? Look at his teeth now. He's doing good. Chris, put up that selfie
Dog.
Steve-O took. while he was
Anybody
looking
can
at his
have
teeth.
pearly white teeth
Yeah.
whenever they're fake.
And when they have money.
When they
you
have
can-
money to
you
pay for
just
fake
buy
teeth.
teeth.
Yes, dude, literally.
If you got millions of dollars, you could go through 1 million pairs of teeth.
Yes.
It's
yeah, literally.
$1 per mouthful.
Dude.
Down under the bridge.
God.
They're
No,
not
but it's
as
like-
pearly.
Literally the reason I want to like make it big and make a bunch of money is so I can get my fucking teeth fixed. 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
I
too
look
expensive.
like dopey Dracula.
Dog.
Arr.
I look like every fucking goddamn
for Christmas
idiot you
is
ever
my-
saw on the side of the road asking for money.
Yeah, all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth and all my frickin' molars back.
Yes, dude. And my canines to be in the right shape, dude. Fuck.
was duct taped to a billboard. You know, that's beautiful. Sure, he's a lunatic who stapled his butt cheeks together and has his own face tattooed on his back, but he's doing it for us. He is a clown, literally. In the late 90s, Steve-O went to the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College and
Stapling them to somebody else.
Yeah, everybody knows you only staple your cheeks to other people.
Oh, what is this?
Oh, dude. Got a
Oh.
meal. A nice succulent Chinese meal. Hell yeah.
and spent time performing as a clown on the Royal Caribbean cruise ships before Jackass. And also, he like went to find the Jackass people. Like they were out filming and he like bum rushed them and said, "Let me be in your video." Then he jumped off a very high bridge. And the Jackass people tried to drive away as fast as possible and get away from this lunatic. And he found them again. And they were like, "I guess we can't get
And then
rid
he
of this
swallowed
guy."
a goldfish.
He forced him his way into being in Jackass. But like Bam, Steve-O struggled with addiction. And I don't know how bad Bam's addictions were, but holy shit, Steve-O really struggled with addiction. Have you ever seen that picture of him surrounded with nitrous oxide canisters? It's
I've been
terrifying.
there.
Dude, back when Steve-O was fun.
Yeah, back when he was like a human,
Mm-hmm.
not a robot.
Dude, now Steve-O, dude, they're just kind of boring.
Yeah, he just sits around with his glasses and goes,
Yeah, remember that one time when I did all these drugs? Like, yeah, dude. We remember when you were cool. We remember.
But after years of cocaine
I've
and nitrous
totally
oxide
been
abuse, Steve-O is
in
now
that room, like, that's the picture of Steve-O where he's surrounded by nitrous. And everything's going, what, and like, in your head, everything's repeating over and over and over, where you're like, hello, 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 hello.
Like, dude, this would make a sick picture.
Picture.
now doing well. He's doing fantastic, actually. Now let's talk about some more sad shit. Ryan Dunn. I mean, we'll talk about Ryan Dunn. It's just such a bummer. He was my favorite guy on Jackass. 'Cause he acted like a big
He
brother.
was his favorite guy after he died.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
everyone's favorite after he died.
And you could say he was done.
Yeah. You could say that, but you shouldn't.
Dude, no, fucking, that is the thing. It's always like someone dies and then
All of a
everybody
sudden,
comes on the
yeah.
news and they're like, they were the nicest person
They were
who
my
never did anything
favorite.
wrong.
Brian Dunn, in all honesty, I'm sure he was a great guy. I don't know. He's probably an asshole.
Yeah, he was
Like,
best friends with Bam Margera.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah,
the
I
hell?
love those guys all the time. But he was like the most boring character.
Yeah.
He did like the Hot Wheels car and his butt thing, but that's the only thing I remember.
And him never was having fun.
That's the only fucking thing I remember.
You're not wrong, though. And he was never he never looked like he enjoyed being on Jackass.
No.
He always looked like he was just there. 'cause
And
it
he
was,
seems like kind of like the rich kid that kind of just hung out in the corner. and
Yeah.
I'm these guys' friends. That's why I'm here.
yeah, I don't know. I like Ryan Dunn.
I'm sure
but-
there's nothing wrong with the guy. I'm sure
No,
he's a
yeah.
great guy. Well, there's some wrong with him now, probably.
well, yeah, for sure.
Don't have any more skin.
But I just hate, dude, when I die, people better go on the news, and if there is any news about it, and be like, that guy sucked. God, I hated that guy. I just really don't want to hear the whole, The whole fucking, oh, he was such a great guy and we miss him and he was so good. It's like, no, I
I'm
want to
gonna
hear.
use his death to further my career.
Yeah, no. I want to hear, man, that guy fucking sucked. Good riddance, dude. Holy shit.
About everyone except for Trevor Moore.
Well, he was a local sex pot.
Reference.
Did you not hear about that?
Mm-mm.
So in his will, he asked to be referenced as a local sex pot instead of a comedian. And so the local news, when they announced his death, they said local sex pot Trevor Moore died.
I don't know how to explain it. He just didn't give a f. And let's talk about Ryan Dunn. In 2011, Ryan Dunn drove his Porsche into a tree at over 130 miles per hour. It burst into flames, killing him and the passenger. The local chief of police called it
That
the
poor
worst
guy.
accident he'd
That
ever
coming.
seen, saying he'd never seen a car
Not
destroyed
him,
in an
obviously.
automobile.
Fucking April did. Bam's mom, she literally told him all the time that he drove too fast and he was going to die in a car crash. Like,
Accident the way Ryan Dunn's car was. The toxology report also showed that Ryan Dunn's blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit, which is not ideal. You should never drunk drive. Genuinely, it's a piece of shit move. But like I said, he was a beacon of light on the show Jackass, specifically to Bam Margera.
What?
Where Ryan Dunn came from.
He
The
was a
tragedy
piece
sent
shit
many of the
move, but he was a beacon of light.
yeah, what a wild thing to say. This dude got drunk.
He could have killed
He
children.
did. He killed somebody. He killed a passenger in his car that had that he wasn't driving. He killed that dude. But nobody seems to talk about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares about the dude Ryan Dunn killed because he was drunk driving. They just talk about how sad it is that Ryan Dunn died. Like,
Jackass cast to a
Crazy.
dark place. In
I
particular,
love Ryan
Bam
Dunn.
Margera.
I do love Ryan Dunn, and I love Jackass. But I mean, come on.
Who had known Dunn since he was 15 years old. And I don't want to come across as disrespectful, but this accident and the darkness that it cast over the Jackass franchise felt like the logical extension of the lifestyle all the cast members had been living. With the slight exception of Knoxville, these cast members were not actors. Jackass isn't for everybody, obviously. It's not even for these guys. But filming a show where you're willing to hang out in a ball pit full of anacondas definitely takes a certain type of performer. And it also required a certain type of viewer. The early 2000s were wild, the people were insane. And if you're the type of person who gets a charge from watching people cheat death on camera, you're probably not the same type of person who takes a lot of interest in
It's like
disclaimers
face
about
to
safety
death.
and shit.
People survived their accident. Or like,
Yeah, dude. It's literally just like, hey, let's come as close to death as we can over and over again and make a movie
you
out
know,
of
it'd
it.
be tight. Putting our lives in danger.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's film that shit.
Let's do it like in the most absurd, obscene ways we can, and throw like stupid pranks.
You just put a minor disclaimer on front, like, hey, don't do this. And every kid's like, I'm going to do that.
I'm gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it's like, it's like telling the producers their idea for a show. They explain it, and the producer goes, "Are you high?" And they're all like, "Yeah, incredibly."
Very much so.
So even though Jackass explicitly told people not to try this shit at home, people could not stop trying this shit at home.
Yep.
And sadly, not all of these SIVA wannabes actually defied death. Now, in fairness to Jackass, they didn't invent the idea of teens
You're a
around and
SIVA
doing
wannabe.
dumb shit. Teens always did that. Even a year before the show debuted, the band Sum 41 created a prank video set to their music to send out to labels, and it helped them get a deal with Island Records. In reality, teenagers were probably getting into trouble with shopping carts since the shopping cart's invention in 1937. But obviously, Jackass wasn't absolved
didn't
of
know that.
responsibility, especially when they had a Hollywood director filming them and a major studio promoting their
He's
content.
right.
I think the biggest issue here was, though, like, this was the era of the home video recording system. You know what I mean?
Actually
Like,
found. People think the shopping cart was invented in 1937, but they. I'm gonna say something stupid.
I was wondering.
But the shopping cart they actually found. They were excavating the site, and they found there in Pompeii. Not a single shopping cart. The shopping cart was invented in 1937. Why would they find that in Pompeii?
Shut the fuck up, man.
you had camcorders. So, like, not only were you doing this shit for your dumb friends, you were trying to get famous.
Oh my god.
Was on the cover of
Oh, shit.
Rolling Stone.
I
Could you
skipped way
imagine?
far
Like,
back.
I genuinely,
They did
with nitrous
find,
oxide canisters, cast members
in
were not
Pompeii, they
actors.
genuinely
Jackass
did
isn't for
find,
everybody. Honest to Jack.
Graffiti on the wall,
Yeah.
and it said there was a
Oh,
piece
yeah.
of graffiti on the wall that said, "I was here."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like genuine.
Jackass.
And
They
they
didn't
found
invent the idea of
advertisements and,
teens
like,
around and doing dumb shit.
People like,
Teens
hey,
always
everyone a
did
good
that.
time,
Even a
go
year
see
before the
Shelly
show
down the
debuted,
street.
the band
Yeah.
Sum 41 created a prank video set to their music to send out to labels, and it helped them get a deal with Island Records. In reality, teenagers were probably getting into trouble with shopping carts since the shopping cart's invention in 1937. But obviously, Jackass
true,
wasn't absolved
true.
of responsibility, especially when they had a Hollywood director filming them and a major studio promoting their content. I think the biggest issue here was, though, like, this was the era of the home video recording system. You know what I mean? Like, you had camcorders. So, like, not only were you doing this shit for your dumb friends, you were trying to get famous by doing it, and that's where the problem came. People were, it was the cameras. It's that damn phone. And a good example of this is in
Crazy.
2012, when a group of 6 Germans who called themselves the Bavarian
damn phone.
Dumbasses
The
tried upping the
Bavarian
ante from their usual
Dumbasses.
YouTube videos of jumping off bridges and dripping candle wax into
God.
their mouths by filming a high-speed carousel ride for their YouTube channel. The idea was simple. High-octane, spinning around on a carousel in a playground and puking a bunch. That was what they were going for. They would duct tape their friend to the carousel and attach a rope from it to a BMW. And then they would speed away in the car full throttle, propelling the carousel to unimaginable
killed
speeds.
themselves.
Of course, no one accounted for the G-forces of what that duct tape can hold up at when you hit Mach speeds. When the car took off, the duct tape failed to hold the guy in place, and he was thrown nearly 20 feet from the ride and landed headfirst on the ground. First
Oh my
responders at the scene tried to revive him, but he was dead almost immediately. And the film
Yeah.
What? I did not see that coming.
God, me neither. He died
He
from...
probably saw it coming.
What a Bavarian dumbass.
Yeah.
the Bavarian
Bavaria
dumbasses
is
were
a
taken to the
dumbass.
hospital and treated for shock. So, you know, just don't try and be.
He
you're
hit
not
so hard
Johnny
his
Knoxville.
friends went into shock.
Not Steve-O, you know? Just don't be stupid. Speaking of stupid, one of the running gags on Jackass was the fact that you could be punched at any time while filming. I hated these because it made me, I was always like, maybe I want to be on Jackass, and then someone comes up and just punches you in the head. I'm like, that's not funny. I just
Yeah.
want to film bits. I don't want to get fucked
said
when I'm not
it. He
working.
said
But a group of
thing.
friends in the UK went way too far in 2014 when their casual violence became just straight up murder. Is murder a
Guys,
prank?
one hammer.
No, that was
Oh,
rhetorical.
God,
Of
yeah,
course it's
true.
not. Usually
I think
these
that's what
fellows
they're
would
talking
perform Jackass-style games like putting chili powder on their genitals or setting their pubic hair on fire. You know, typical boy stuff. Typical UK Sunday. But after a night of heavy drinking, their horseplay got out of hand. And a 39-year-old, yeah, all these guys were basically in their 40s, was beat to death. Once the group realized that they passed the point of no return and just straight up killed a dude with their bare hands, they did what anyone's bros would do. Chop up the body and throw it in a lake.
True.
Casual
Yeah,
fun. There's
that's
a
what
big
you would
difference
do.
between Johnny Knoxville
Would
taking
do.
paintballs off his dinner and Jigsaw using a rusty knife to
Allegedly.
chop off someone's arms in a bathtub.
They
There's a
cannot
limit to this
prosecute
kind
a
of
book.
roughhousery. And the court agreed, and two men...
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Throw
Legally.
the book at me?
Oh.
Me and him are boys, dude. We go way back to elementary, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking-
But he wasn't he like didn't he get really like hard into drugs and
Yeah, he turned his life around though, you know.
Yeah, he
now
found-
he's blind now.
oh,
Justice.
Jesus.
Justice law.
Justice
We're sentenced to
Law. I
prison.
remember
So
him.
just don't- that's
Yeah,
the-
of course you do, Paige Vega.
He was wasn't he like way into the Klan though?
Very, very.
Yeah, like he
into
is like his so he's like slur man, like he said a lot of
it. The new superhero.
Not even like, I can't believe that's
No white
even
knight.
tangentially related to Jackass. Just don't beat the shit your friends to death. God. But the same
fine,
year in
I'm happy
Baltimore,
with
two
it.
lifelong
Yeah, I
friends
love
were
that.
hanging out in a basement, binging on booze and drugs, and challenging each other to a series of dares. Eventually, the two 30-year-olds went from boyish dares, like licking a toilet seat, to doing the Johnny Knoxville stunt where you shot yourself in the chest. So you
Oh,
can see where this
except
is
he didn't
going.
do
The
that.
idea was that they would film the
Yeah,
stunt like
he didn't
Jackass, go
do that.
viral,
They
and
talked
become
him out of
stars.
it.
Yeah,
So
he
with
ended
the
up shooting himself with a beanbag gun later, and it still fucked him up.
camera rolling and the bulletproof vest on, the gunshot missed the vest and hit the victim's upper chest. He was rushed to the hospital, couldn't be revived, took a
He
shot,
didn't
and died.
miss.
But it's also
They didn't even shoot him in the vest.
goes to show just how dangerous the stunt Johnny Knoxville did, because that could have easily happened to him as the
get
highest
dirty
form of
at
flattery. Not only did Jackass
When
inspire
did that-
legions of
when did
copycats to
kids
create their
start
own
doing
twisted home
stupid
videos, but they also changed the
When I
face
was
of
a
TV.
kid, we were
Along
all
with
genius.
MTV
Yeah,
milking...
We were punching people
Yeah, we were so smart. We were
like a real genius.
we took kids' toys and we bombed Fat Hills in them. You know.
Little Tykes, the red wagon,
Yeah, dude.
the green wagon with the little red
I think
side
it's
thing.
sick, dude.
And
Or the little yellow toy with the
Kraken
steering
had
wheel.
the little pink bucket on his head as a helmet, and it shattered to pieces when he hit the pavement. Wasn't it duct taped to his head?
Yeah, dude. Why were we never videotaping any of this? We were just doing it for the love of the game.
Giant hill.
Yes, we were literally doing it for the love of the game. Like,
Stupid. Man, when we were little kids growing up out in the middle of nowhere, and we each had our own tree, we'd call the tree.
yeah.
That's my tree, I call it. And you climbed to
the very top.
You got really high, like 25 feet, and then the limb broke, and you fell. You hit your nuts on like 3 branches as they broke, and then your both legs got caught, like under the knee and over the foot on that last one, and it flipped you upside down. You're just tangling like 4 feet off the ground.
It's like,
You were crying. You were laughing and crying at the same. Not like laughing so hard you cried. You were crying because of the pain and laughing because it was hilarious.
oh my god, that's amazing.
And I was just laughing.
Yeah,
You were
shit,
just-
dude.
You went dangling upside down.
You threw your fucking bottle about that.
I got greasy hands.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Jackass for 3 seasons and unbelievable, unstopping reruns. They also created a ton of spin-offs like Wild Boys, Homewrecker, and Viva La Bam. For a while, you could not turn on the TV without seeing some form of Steve-O or Bam Margera. And it's important to note that this type of show stemmed out to be punk. It was Practical Jokers. It was Nitro Circus. Like, all of this came from Jackass. And it also made unlikely stars out of the cast, mostly because Steve-O was on Dancing with the Stars. I remember when that happened. That was insane. Is Dancing with the Stars still on? And when Knoxville appeared on an episode of John Mulaney's Everybody's Live, Mulaney earnestly suggested that Johnny Knoxville changed humor like a few other performers ever have, and that he deserves the Mark Twain Prize for American humor.
I'm gonna slip
And
it in
I
there.
agree. That's, if you don't know about the Mark
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Twain
gonna
Prize,
say-
it's like given to like the big dogs of
It
comedy,
reminded me
like
of
Tina
that-
Fey,
yeah,
Dave
yeah.
Chappelle, Jon Stewart, like the
You
big
fucking
boys.
said
And
it.
it isn't just
God damn it, Dow. I mean, Paige Vega, Chad. I said it.
John
You
Mulaney
said
who
it.
sees the importance and influence
Well, see, my older brother's actually a computer.
of Jackass. Entertainment Weekly named it one of the 100 best shows from
Who's your older
1983 to
Paige
2008,
Vega.
part of a list it deemed the new
Or
classics.
Jackass.
Coming in at number 6,
yeah,
Jackass
that's right,
beat out
yeah,
shows
yeah.
like Mad Men, King of the Hill,
Brother.
and Golden
Yeah.
Girls. But it wasn't just the show itself that made it so popular. Part of Jackass's success was the Y2K Attitude Era. I already made a video touching on some of this stuff, and I don't, shameless plug, just go
Attitude
watch that if you
Era.
want to. But it's worth repeating. The late 90s and early 2000s were all about being extreme. Even traditional children's entertainment like WWE became
That's
rebranded
how
as a
it
sexually
goes to the
charged,
hospital.
violent show. Just think about this.
Yeah.
In 2000,
Yeah,
Limp
it does.
Bizkit had an MTV music video hit with the music for Break Stuff, which was shot in a skate park and had the lines, I pack a
Break
chainsaw,
Stuff?
I'll skin your ass
No,
raw,
no,
and if
no,
my day keeps going this way, I might
always
bake your
sunny.
face tonight.
yeah.
So for
Where
Johnny
they're like,
Knoxville
dude,
and
you
his
look
cast of Merry
terrible.
Prankster,
Yeah, like, listen to
hits
this.
that note. And it goes all right, stop. Said look like sound like a man who needs to go to the hospital. And yes, it absolutely does.
I am a golden god.
it really was the perfect timing. We as Americans love watching people get hurt, and we always have. America's Funniest Home Videos had already been giving us an excuse to laugh at people falling down since 1989. And as nostalgia for the 2000s is becoming fashionable, which makes me want to die, their influence has never been clearer. Just listen to what rapper Little Uzi Vert said about Bam Margera in a Pitchfork interview.
The reason why everybody look the way they look. Bam, man. The reason why my hat look like this right now, if you want me to be real. Shout out to him.
I love Little Uzi Vert so much. The genius of the show and the reason why it's
I'm
still
gonna hit
celebrated
the,
to this day is because it tapped into a
biblioteca.
fundamentally disturbed part of our nature. Sure, Jackass was a crazy show to see on MTV next to Boy Band.
Biblioteca or bathroom. I think it means library, right? It means like
It definitely
Bible
doesn't mean
teacher.
bathroom. I know it doesn't mean bathroom.
Biblioteca means like Bible teach, which is Latin for bathroom.
Band videos. But in today's world of short-form TikToks and YouTube
couldn't
videos,
tell you,
Jackass
dude.
would
I
fit
couldn't tell
right
you.
in. It was influential, but it was also primal, giving us a raw, edgy version of what every American wants to see.
Okay.
Death and destruction.
Those are
God
words.
bless it, I'm
They
not
are
going to do any
words.
of that shit. I'm going to sit in my cozy apartment and not hurt myself. So, new videos every Saturday and every other Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Actually do all of those things.
Yeah, that was a pretty good video. I liked it. I wasn't paying attention at all.
Talk too much.
It was pretty funny though. Big Tugg, dude.
Tugging
What a-
on it, tugging on my heartstrings.
What a tugger.